This is how you import an MLS file or a file downloaded from the MLS into sendout cards. So what we've done is we've started by creating an Excel spreadsheet which was downloaded from MLSPIN, and now what we do next is open up the file. So I've installed a free software package called OpenOffice, which runs on Mac or PC, and it's an alternative to Microsoft Word or some of the Apple products. So within OpenOffice, what we do is we basically accept the file layout. In fact, this file I've already done, so I'm going to switch to a different file. Bear with me 1 second here. To a file that has not yet been done. Okay, and I guess all my files have already been done, so what I'm going to do is just redo this file. Not a big deal. So I'm going to click on the file, open Office. Oops, I can see that Apple Numbers is trying to open it up here, so I'm just going to switch over to OpenOffice and open it directly through the application. Here it is. Open that up. I'm going to close this in the background. I kind of hate to have this open if I don't need it open. Okay, and here we are. We are in OpenOffice. It looks a lot like Excel. One thing that we've already done is we've added the group number. So in sendout cards, when you're importing, it needs to know what group to put it in. And so the first step is adding this column. The second step is adding another column. We're going to insert this, and we're going to call this name. Okay, and the thing is, we don't know if this person's alive, if they've remarried, if their name's different. We really don't know those things. And so what I'm going to do is basically create this column that copies all the information. And we're going to kind of trick sendout cards just a little bit. So we're going to call this last name. And last name is going to be residence. Okay. Just copy that. So when the file pulls in, it's going to be last name. This is kind of time consuming, but that's life. We go down and basically clean up the file. I'm going to pause it here as I finish the file. Okay, so I just finished cleaning up the file. I'm just going to do a quick scan here. It looks like everything's good. The reason we do this is because sendout cards needs a first name and a last name. It can't be one field, and so this is a way of dealing with that. So we've updated the Excel spreadsheet to include a new column for the grouping, the first name and last name. There are a bunch of fields in here that we definitely do not need, but that's okay. We just will not import them when the time comes. So next we go to Save As. We're going to change the file format that we're saving this as. So right now we have an XLS spreadsheet. We're going to save it as a text CSV. And what I've done here is I click on Edit Filter Settings. This is the key piece. Edit Filter Settings, Save, and then we're going to save it in ODF format, whatever that means. Okay, so click on Save in ODF format. We're going to go down as text CSV. We're going to click Edit, Filter, Settings again, and Save. Oh, maybe we don't need to do that, but we do. We do click on the Edit, the Filter Settings, and then click on Keep Current Format. That's the trick. And then we go down to Tab Delimited. I'm just going to double check that real quick. Yep, I just checked online, and it is field delimiter is tab. Everything else is okay. So we're just going to change that to tab. Click OK, and basically we should be in good shape. I'm just going to check to make sure that it saved the file in our folder. It has. So the real test is going over into send out cards and checking to see if they like the file. So we go to Contacts, Import, and we select the file. This is that CSV delimited file that we just selected. Import contacts. And you can see that all the fields are now available. Voila. So now I just need to do the field matching. I'm going to, for first name, and I can call the profile 21 Everett. Why not? Not a big deal. But I go to, where is it? First name, last name. These are the two fields that we created. Before I forget, the most important thing, otherwise it just dumps them into the bucket, is this group name that we created. So in our spreadsheet we called it list, so we are going to merge that into that list. So we have first name to first name, last name to last name, address. We're going to do the owner address, the owner city, because sometimes people are renting these houses, the owner state, and the owner zip. Let me just check. Those are really the only fields we need. We just need the name and address that we're mailing this to. So that's really it. We basically need the first name, last name, address. We have all that: address, city, state, zip, and the list name. Everything else is just kind of extra information that we don't really need and basically maintain in another system. So we're going to update the profile. Just make sure there's no other fields there. Yep. Update the profile. And there's an error. So for anyone watching this video outside of my team, you can see that if you have the opportunity to start on another platform, I'd recommend it. Send out cards is not very user-friendly when it comes to importing lists. Okay, so we're going to figure this out and circle back. Okay, I went back in, recreated it. I tried to import it without creating the list name or the profile name, and it gave me an error. So I added that as well. But at last we made it to this page here. So we have the kind of a quick overview of what we're importing here, just to make sure everything's lining up properly. We've got the city, first name, last name, which we kind of tweaked for our purposes, the owner address, the state, zip, and the list name. Okay, so we're just going to import the entire file. So the report is being processed. I'm going to go look for my contacts because I'm assuming that because it's only a list of about 60 or 70 contacts, it's probably already in there. So I'm going to go to Find Contact. This is just kind of the data check, really. I'm going to uncheck all of these and then just select the address that we are importing for. Click on Find Contact. So that's going to retrieve the whole group. And look at that. We have 66 contacts. Looks like they all went in. If we want to, and it's probably a good idea just to double check the data for at least one of them. Perfect. It's imported, it's done, and now we can send a mail merge piece to that contact group.